got this one, this one, this one.
So my colleagues at UPMC went over some of the things you need to know. We're going to go over a little bit more detail so we can help everyone try and make the best decision for them and their family. So completing the 2016 year, your incentive deadline is October 31st. $500 for an individual, $1,000 for a family. If you're HSA, this money is in your account midnight, or actually January 1, 2017. Same with UPMC if you are HRA. Requirements include employees and covered spouses, the health questionnaire, the biometric screening. Employees only, 300 Take a Healthy Step points. If you are a clergy couple and you are here today, the contract holder is 01. So that's the person who should be completing the 300 points. My health questionnaire, your spouse must complete this as well. They need to sign in with their individual UPMC ID number to My Health Online. So it's not going to be the same as your ID number. The spouse will have to use his or her individual ID number. Biometric screening at Quest needs to be complete. We do have new instructions over there. We had a lot of people that had issues with Quest. So we had UPMC give us better instructions. Also, everything we're going over today, including the tools Rob and his group went over with, is over there on that table, so please take copies. If you still have issues with Quest, there is a number you can call. If you continue to have issues, let Alexis and I know. We do want to see everyone earn this funding in their account. Employees only, 300 points. Again, make sure you complete them by October 31st. Proof of service form. Keep in mind your dental and vision are separate contracts. So you have to let UPMC know when you've had your teeth cleaned, your vision. Same with the flu shot. If you look over here, you can fax this over with proof of service. It is not necessary to have the provider's signature. It does say it on there, but it is not necessary. Just make sure you sign it, put your ID number on there, and include your proof of service. Excuse me. Also keep in mind, if more than one person in your family is doing this, they need to use their individual ID number, so you would use different forms. The reason I'm saying that is because spouses will be required in 2017 to earn points, and that point structure will start November 1 of this year. So anything your spouse does after November 1 will count as their points, and we will know what those points are going to look like in 2017 when we meet with UPMC and go over that structure. Okay. Take a Healthy Step 2017 changes, PPO network or standard HMO network. Both plans, higher deductibles, higher out-of-pocket max. Both offer HSAs and HRAs. HSA is managed through Keystone. HRA is managed through UPMC. Our open enrollment begins October 1st and ends November 30th. Here again is the grid of what your plan looks like. These are higher deductibles. If you go here, upmchealthplan.com, and want to see if your providers are in the network, you would need to go there to find them. Keep in mind the HMO, you're going to look for standard network HMO. Also, preventative care is part of the Affordable Care Act, and it's covered at 100%. When you make appointments, you have to be very clear, you have to be a good consumer here and let them know. Use the word preventative care, because if it gets coded wrong, you will get billed for these services. So you want to be a smart consumer here and tell them preventative care. The PPO option, again, higher deductible, same structure. PCP not required, but is always encouraged. No referrals are needed. The standard HMO network, you must select your primary care and the PCP number. These must be included on your enrollment application, or we cannot accept the application. You will need to receive referrals from your PCP to see any specialists. However, that excludes OBGYN, mental health providers, and pediatricians. Also, we learned that an OBGYN can be your PCP. Verify that the providers are in the HMO standard network, as it is a more limited network than the PPO, and understand that there is zero out-of-network coverage, except in the case of an emergency. A good first step here to determine what's best for you is to go to upmchealthplan.com/find. You might want to look at your current PCP and see if they're in this network. And then that may help you make a decision as to if the HMO is a good fit or the PPO. Again, upmchealthplan.com/find. Coverage type is going to be coverage through your employer. Plan type is standard network HMO plans. And then there's other filters, hospitals, and so forth. There is a handout over there for hospitals that are covered in this HMO network. This is just a little sample. If you look here, this provider is in Cranberry and is in both the HMO and the PPO network. However, you have to be careful here because this provider may have 3 different offices and only have the HMO at one of their locations. So this is going to force you to do a little bit of homework and make sure that the location you see them at is in the HMO network. Be very careful of that. Here's the application. If you're going with the HMO, we will require an application as it's a more narrow network. If you choose to stay with the PPO, we do not need an application. You can send us an email. This is where you're going to need to put that PCP number and practice number. And for couples, if you see one physician and your spouse sees another, you will need to populate their information in this second section. Again, we cannot take your application without this information, as UPMC is going to bounce it and send it back to us. All applications will come to either myself or Alexis. You can fax them, scan them, or put them in the regular mail. November 30th is our drop dead date because we have to turn our file into UPMC December 1. Where do I find the practice and the practice number? Again, upmchealthplan.com/find. Over here, it'll tell you plans accepted, plans not accepted. There's your practice number, there's your provider number. Enrollment notes, our deadline, again, November 30th. If you do not send in an enrollment application or let us know what your choice is, you will default to the PPO HRA. So please make sure you let us know what your choice is by November 30th. Again, you can email us if you want to stay in the PPO, whether it be HSA or HRA. No late enrollments, we have to turn our file around. And keep in mind, you do not need to check vision or dental, as those are separate contracts. If you are on the PPO, again, you can just let us know in writing via email, fax, or anything like that to Alexis or myself. And then that way we can just notate that change, that you're staying the same on our file. Also keep in mind, if you're in an HSA in 2016 and you attained age 65, you are no longer eligible for an HSA and you need to move to an HRA in 2017. Also, if you attain age 65 in 2017, some of the funding that we give you may put you over the IRS limit, so you have to be very cognizant of that and make sure you are not going over that limit. It may just be easier for you to go to an HRA in 2017 and not have to worry about it. The HMO does require an enrollment application. Health savings account, again, not everyone's eligible. Those who are covered under a high deductible plan have no other coverage, are not enrolled in Medicare, and not claimed as a dependent on someone else's taxes. These are your IRS limits down here. All this information will be on the benefits page after our meeting, and Keystone will go into a little bit more about HSAs and the limits. So make sure you stay within those limits. Those limits include your employer contribution. Health insurance changes. MetLife is our dental provider and will remain our dental provider. However, that being said, your Type B services are currently covered at 100%. 2017, they will only be covered at 80%. This includes fillings, extractions, crowns, dentures, general anesthesia, periodontics, endodontics, and denture repair. If you have things that need to be done, get them done this year. You're covered at 100%, next year at 80%. Also with MetLife, this is a different contract and does not follow the Affordable Care Act. If you have dependents under age 25, they are only eligible to be on MetLife if they are full-time students and can prove full-time student status. So what'll happen is they'll go, they'll do all the work, they'll ask you to provide proof of service, and if you can't, they're gonna send you a bill. All of this information is in the MetLife books that we have, including ID cards in the back. Dennis?
If somebody is a retiree, will they have any kind of dental coverage?
Okay, thank you, good question. So for clergy here who are retired, your MetLife benefit is different. It is a MetLife retiree plan, and you are not affected by this. Yours is a very more basic plan, okay? Thank you. Also keep in mind that braces are not covered over age 19. So if you have kids that need braces, whether you have to drag them kicking and screaming like I'm gonna have to do with my daughter, have it done before 19. Over age 19, it is purely cosmetic and it is not covered. So keep that in mind. Here's your grid again. All this information is on the benefits page. Vision changes. We will have a new vision provider in 2017. Our vision provider is iMeds. There's some grids in the back. If you did not get one, please make sure you take one with you. Everyone on UPMC will automatically be enrolled in this plan, so you will not need to do that, but you will be receiving materials towards the end of the year. So if you have any questions on this, just please let us know. It will not be VBA, it'll be iMeds. Final thoughts, fill your prescriptions. If you've reached your deductible in 2016, try to have any procedures done before January 1. Be a smart healthcare consumer. When I say this, use those tools like what Rob was showing you, the transparency tool. There's cheaper places to get procedures done, and actually they're better hospitals if you ask me. Also, shop around for your prescriptions. Another thing, if you have dependents that have other coverage and they're on our UPMC plan, they are no longer eligible for our plan, and they need to come off. Anything we do helps us here with our premiums, so we have to really be smart consumers in this environment we're in. So if you have dependents, they have a job, they need to come off if they have other coverage. If they lose that job, they can come back on up till 26. Take advantage of the programs UPMC offers. They have some great programs that work for a lot of our members. There's some great tools. Please take advantage of those. Continue contributing to your HSA account. Pay attention to our Friday email tips. If you're not on the list, please see Alexis or myself and we can add you. There is good news. We're turning our numbers around. We're very proud of Denton and Kathy. Denton was at annual conference 2 years ago, had his blood work done, and they wanted to put him in the hospital right there. He did not want to go. He went home, he signed up with this coach right here, Christian. He's very passionate about his work. He lost weight, he turned around his numbers, he was borderline diabetic, and he no longer is. We have 106 members who have lowered blood pressure, lost weight, lower cholesterol, so let's keep the momentum going. Everything we do helps our premiums, so we really have to be good consumers here. And also, we're very proud of them. Anyone who has success stories, please share them with Alexis and I. We're inspired by them and we want to share them with our members. This is just to let you know what other conferences are doing. 55% charge a specific amount. 38% a sliding scale based on salary, 7% a percentage of a blended rate, 7 conferences, nothing regardless of coverage. I reached out to my colleague in Chicago for this information. We are one of those 7, and she told me we are dinosaurs. So this probably won't be there much longer. Below that is just amounts and what that looks like. We'll be in Chicago next week and we'll have more updated information. This is from 2015. Questions? Please contact Alexis or myself. We're always on the phone. So email is actually the best way to reach us. We'll do whatever we can to help you. We wanna see everyone earn the funding. If you need tips, contact Alexis. She's the guru at what little cheats there are to earn your points. Please do everything you can to earn them. We want everyone to earn their funding. Special thanks to our Board of Pensions for all that they do. We're doing everything we can to keep your plan sustainable. These are challenging times in the healthcare industry, so we're doing everything we can to make your plan sustainable. Are there any questions? Gregory?
The new IMED plan,
Yes.
so are we starting off fresh with that, or will they have a look back in terms of your coverage? So if I got glasses in June of this year, is it starting over in January?
Right, that benefit year will run January 1 because it was VBA in June.
Okay, so the way in which we're covered only looks forward, not back.
That's correct. So it's VBA now, January 1, IMEDs. Yep. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
He's eligible for Medicare.
Mm-hmm.
My understanding is if he's a full-time employee, the Medicare's or the UPMC is always primary, is that correct?
Yes, he doesn't need Part B, so you don't want Part B because you're paying for something you don't need.
Do we need Part A?
I think you automatically get signed up for it and it doesn't cost anything. But
Okay,
you don't want Part B until you're going into a retired status.
okay. And
And as long as he remains an active employee, he does not need Medicare because he's covered under an active employer plan. Okay? Anyone else? Oh, you guys were an easy group. Right, Alexis?
Finish out strong.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna turn it over to the